metal slugs, ABS chips, have a metal slug in there, and anything short of a little encounter with a 45 ACP isn't really going to break those, okay? Come on, red. Come on, you can do it. Hello and welcome everybody to the 2025 Poker Chip Buying Guide. Real quick, shout out to patrons. Thank you so much. You keep this channel alive. The other thing I want to list here at the beginning is my list of places where I personally buy poker chips. And it varies. You can see retailers online. Yes, Amazon is on there, but Amazon doesn't have everything. And there's kind of an asterisk next to one of them. That's classic poker chips, because my understanding at the making of this video at the beginning of 2025, there might be an ownership change. So we're not sure yet how that's going to pan out, if they'll still be sold and available to the public. So asterisk next to the classic poker chips. And finally, shout out to PokerChipForum. Great community where they do group buys, where you can get some interesting custom chips, and you can just buy used chips from members. So it's really an interesting place and a place to get poker chips as well. That said, before we dive into poker chips, last point, if you want a premium, super high quality chip, you're going to pay super high quality chip prices. Unfortunately, and I've been looking for like 10 years, for a chip that feels and is super high quality, that's super cheap, and I haven't found anything yet. I don't think that exists. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Buckle up, let's dive into some poker chips. So the first question to ask yourself for your future chips, what is your purview? What are you doing? Do you just want to play Texas Hold'em? Or some strange variant because everybody knows how to play Texas Hold'em, so you want an edge, so you're going to come up with some new rando form of poker? Do you want chips for that? I can tell you right now, that breakdown is going to look very different than if you just want some roulette chips. Or some craps chips. Or if you want a promotional chip to maybe use as a golf ball marker when you're out on the course, so everybody can see, hey, look, I'm a YouTuber. Or are you more of a collector investor? Do you love the history of poker chips? They're super cool. Or did you maybe play too much Pokemon Crystal while you were in college and you want to play some Pokemon with your son? Yeah, there's a reason why we use these chips for Pokemon. There's a reason why these chips, not any others, live in my son's bedroom with his Pokemon cards. I wonder why that is. We'll talk about that here later. Buckle up. It's a wild ride. Remember, what is your poker purview? Or you could say poker chip purview, but I like the poker purview has this kind of like alliteration to it. Let's go with that. Our first topic are going to be casino chips. Now, remember how I talked about the purview? Just barely got done talking about it. For some people, they want a casino chip for their home game, a casino chip set, right? These are some obsolete Horseshoe Cincinnati chips, all right? These are made by Paulson, a company that does not sell to consumers. They only sell to a licensed casino or card room, okay? Paulson chips, a casino chip. A little set, okay? I have a set of these. I could, if I wanted to, host a game. Now, there's another aspect to casino chips, and that's collectability. What you're looking at down here are two obsolete chips. Obviously, they're not these rectangular things here. They're the little circles in here. So here's a Bally ceramic chip. Yes, a ceramic chip was a casino chip for many casinos. I've seen them. Here's a Metallica. This is a Hard Rock Las Vegas chip. This particular casino is no longer in business. It's been purchased. Hard Rock has acquired the Mirage property, which was formerly the Mirage property. Now it's the Hard Rock Las Vegas. So this is an obsolete chip, lovely Hard Rock casino chip. And this is just a lovely Paris Bally's ceramic chip. Maybe more of in the collectible segment than something that you're going to use in your home game. And here are some Top Hat and Cane chips from Horseshoe Cleveland. All right, Horseshoe Cleveland, different than the Horseshoe Cincinnati as far as looks go. This is an RHC mold versus a top hat and cane mold. If you want to know more about that, you can visit us on PokerChipForum.com. I have an account on there. You can send me a message if you have a question for me. It's a great platform to communicate with me. Now, with the purview again, okay? If you were to purchase casino chips, would you play with them? Other people who want to play with these will find some chips like this, for example, that don't have incredible intrinsic value, and they'll remove the inlay and relabel them for their own custom casino quality chip. Very nice. Not my thing. You can read about it on the forums. There's lots of information on how to do that on the forums and people that will help you with that. So you can play these, you can collect them. And again, as far as like investing goes, I don't have any advice, but for collecting, I would say if you're interested, get things that are of interest to you or that have sentimental value to you. Both of these have sentimental value to me. The other reason why I want to talk about casino chips. Yes, you can purchase obsolete ones and you can go to a casino and feel what they feel like. And a lot of people, they associate chips with what they feel at the casino. So we need to set a standard here. We're going to set the bar at what a casino chip is, what it feels like, and stuff like that, and how it sounds. Okay? So first thing we're going to do is we are going to weigh these right here live for everybody to see how much they weigh in grams. Okay? So generally, people associate casino chips, Paulson casino chips, around the 10 gram segment right here. You can see right there, 10 gram. Not all of them are. Some of these have wear on them, and there will be some variability. There's some variance here. That one looks like it's 9.7. So right around 10 grams. You know, you compare that to the Cincinnati, Horseshoe Cincinnati. These are maybe closer to 9 grams. So you can see there is some variance here. And remember, I've seen card rooms where they're using Amazon purchased ABS metal slug chips that weigh 14 grams. So to say that all casinos use the same weight or size, I'm not 100% sure I would buy into that. Just something to be aware of. And speaking of size, I have some digital calipers right here. Let's measure these in millimeters. So let's reset this so we can see right here. Generally, about 39 millimeters is what you're looking for. That's 39.1415 millimeters. Is that showing up on camera? And that's what you're going to find across many, many, many chips that we're going to discuss. Now, the final thing to discuss before I move to the next segment, everything you see here, I paid for with my own money. I have to do this for FCC disclosures and everything. Nothing here, none of the chips that you see were sent to me for review. I purchased all of these. I feel like I give a more honest review when I actually go out and buy products. So everything you see in front of the camera, I purchased. The one thing that you will see that I did not purchase is this table topper. This is just a foam mat. It works really well with the colors with my camera. It doesn't reflect. So thank you, Tommy, for sending this out. This is from PokerChipForum, a longtime supporter, and they are a patron. Full disclosure, thank you to all of my patrons. So let's move on to our next segment, which is budget chips. The scope of this, the purview of this segment can cross various things, right? So obviously, it's unlikely that you'll be investing with this. It's more likely this will be a travel set or a subset of travel. Camping, I know people who will use some really cheap chips for their camping set. They'll throw it in with their tents and their sleeping bags. I get it. Dorm room stuff, whatever. You're just looking for, maybe you just don't have a big budget, looking for something cheap. There are several reasons why people buy cheap chips. Now, let's talk a little bit about where to get these. Okay, usually these are purchased online, various places, online, Discount Poker Shop, Amazon, places where you're just looking for cheapest chips. You can also go secondhand, eBay, at thrift stores, and you can see right here, I left the tag on it. Goodwill for $8. I got a Michael Graves set right here. I might have overpaid these. I remember these were selling on clearance for like, was it $14.99 or something? They weren't very expensive at the time. Just retail stores like Target would sell stuff like this. Michael Graves set, no denominations, anything that's special about it. Bicycle chips, these are plastic chips, no metal slug. One thing I like about this is they left a white space right here so you can put a little label, just a little sticker, or you use a marker better because that way they stay flat. You can just write how the denominations on here. Oh, the reds are 5, the blues are 10. Great. Interlocking chips, I see these at thrift stores, but I also see these at dollar stores where they'll have a little bag, a little cellophane bag stapled shut with a price tag, 99 cents for a stack like this, 25 or whatever. Interlocking chips, dice chips are very common. People talk about the different quality and different types of these. You can see there's a color difference here with these two. If it's a dice chip, it's a dice chip. I'm not too worried about materials. To me, these are the reasons why one of the big reasons why I started this channel was I wanted something better than the dice chips I found at Walmart. Where can I get those? So that's why I explored that for the last, how long has it been? Decade. And I don't care about the material. If somebody says, oh, these are made out with the most premium materials, I go back to a Jeremy Clarkson quote where he's talking about making a Volkswagen Golf into a supercar. And he says, it's like marrying a supermodel and saying the best thing about her is she looks like a traffic warden. It doesn't matter if there's high clay content. Clay is a very common additive, a filler for plastics. I'm not worried about it. Just because compression molded clay chips are the premium chips doesn't mean that everything with clay added as a filler is going to be premium. So whatever the materials are, yes, but there is a difference and there is a variety of dice chips. When I bought my set, it was $20 for a set of 300. Now it's like $50 or something, inflation. And can you read that? Your eyes are not deceiving you. These are paper chips. That's right, paper. So let's run a few things here. For starters, you got to hear the sound of some of these things. Here's paper. Casino chips, okay? Yeah, paper chips, kind of weird. Here are dice chips versus casino chips. All right, interlocking plastic chips versus casino chips. Huge difference. Plastic bicycle chips. And Graves plastic chips, Michael Graves. All right, let's weigh some of these, just so you get an idea. Paper chips, so much, depends on the humidity, right? We're looking at right around 2 grams. What's funny, and I know this from experience, is these interlocking chips also weigh about 2 grams. Plastic, paper, same weight. Neither one stack well, don't sound good. Either way, these are readily available at like dollar stores. Not too expensive. Let's go look at the Michael Graves set here. 7 grams, getting closer. Bicycle plastic. 8.4, getting pretty close. That's not a bad weight. I like these bicycle chips more than the dice chips, for example. This one weighs about 11.5 grams. I think this one feels about the same. Yeah, about 11.5. So about 11.5 grams. So these are, and I just brought in the casino chips for the sound comparison. So these are some examples of what you might be looking at. Check your thrift stores if you have time. Check the dollar store and go online and maybe find some cheap dice chips or bicycle chips and let us know in the comments below if you found a good deal. Budget chips are for very specific things, maybe not for everybody. If you want to take a little step up, you might want to consider, they're not that much more, are just ABS metal slug chips. Let's dive into that. This is such a huge segment. It's like meat and potatoes, right? This is the filler. There are so many varieties and weights and textures. Let's dive into a little bit about what I look for. The 3 cons are flashing, so poor texture, flashing, overweight, and flatness. Pros, they're super durable. There's a huge selection, and they're usually pretty affordable compared to some of the higher end or custom chips. And, you know, the rest of it's kind of subjective. Do you like the look? Do you not like the look? Do you like the weight, not the weight? So let's start with some of the flashing problems. I might have to roll in a picture. I'm not sure how well my camera's going to pick this up, but I purchased these 10 years ago. I don't remember, on Amazon. And they have flashing. So just unfinished, sharp plastic edges where the two parts of the mold met and some of the plastic seeps through, just plastic flashing. The ones that they sell at Apache Poker Chips and the Poker Store, they're called smooth Monte Carlo, where they've lightly sanded these, and they don't have that. So one of my big complaints doesn't exist on a lot of chips. All right, interesting. The Godel chips from Amazon are my latest Amazon ABS chip purchase, and these don't have that flashing problem. So whatever technology they're using, whatever they're doing in factories right now, are working out really well. So modern Amazon purchased ABS chips didn't have flashing. 10 years ago, they did. Don't know if that's a sign of, or a fair representation of all things across Amazon, but that's something that I've noticed. The other thing is weight. Just, it's a personal preference. You know, I like the 10-gram chips, whether they be ceramic or like casino compression molded clay Paulson kind of chips. These, you know, 13.5 don't bother me that much. I can get by, you know, 13.5. Actually, if there's something that's a little bit lighter, I prefer that. These are actually a little heavy. 14. The dice chips have a pretty good weight. At 11.5, I usually think of. That's almost 12 on that one. Ella chips would also be about 13.5. Yeah, right around there. So they're all 39. These are 39 millimeter, more or less. Finally, I want to talk about flatness. Okay. This is a big complaint. So just pushing down here, it kind of wobbles. On camera, I like to demonstrate it like this, where I just rock it back and forth and look at that thing slither all over the place. I mean, if I, you know, if I don't stop myself, I mean, these things just explode everywhere. Okay. So there is a little bit of wobble to be expected in chips. The expectation of perfection, I think, is unrealistic when you're buying 500 of something. How much are you willing to pay? Okay, so let's go to some used casino chips. Used stack of casino chips. Are these going to be flat? Nope. Can you see the wobble? Plenty of flatness issues here too. Not quite as bad as the 10-year-old Amazon purchased Monte Carlos, okay? What about some classic poker chips? Some of my favorite. And again, throughout the year, at the making of this video, this company might change ownership, so it might be under a different name. Read the comments, read the description. These are very flat, but again, not perfect. You can see a little bit of wobble here. What about ceramics? This is Pocket Aces. I'll put a graphic up or a link. Probably a graphic, because if I put too many links up, Amazon, YouTube complains about it. So ceramic chips, Pocket Aces. These make great roulette chips, by the way. We'll talk about that later. These are so flat. It's kind of, some ceramics can just be ridiculously flat. So yeah, there are those. So that's kind of the pros and cons. What you're looking for really depends on what you want. Do you want a really heavy 15-gram Metal Slug ABS chip? Guess what? They sell those. Do you want some 11.5 gram, some 13 gram? 13.5 is very common. I like the 13.5. You can choose the weight. You can choose the texture. You want to risk it? Go buy something, you know, inexpensive at a place where you don't know, or you can go to like a poker specific store like the Poker Store or Apache Poker Chips. PokerChipForum is a great resource. Right here, you can go here and discuss it, and people will have input on where to buy whatever, you know. The Godel chips I've had good luck with on Amazon. These are on my Amazon shop. I am an Amazon associate. I make proceeds from qualifying purchases. So if you click that link in the description below, it helps this channel. So that's kind of representative of ABS chips. I hope that's helpful. Like I said, probably one of the biggest segments. Definitely leave your comments and give some direction to anybody who might be looking in the comments below. We really appreciate it. This segment, let's call it the clay segment. We're going to play a hand. It was weird because we have two different chips that are sold as clay chips that have a very different feel. The next gen style, or they call it the pure clay at the poker store, have a smoother plasticky feel with sharp edges. There's not a huge selection of different designs available online. They're non-toxic. They're pretty durable. Okay, I mean, these are pretty good chips for the money. And you compare that to the China clays, which the poker store calls pro clay. Is that what I think I'm doing that? Pro clay? Either way, they were originally sold with this Milano material as a China clay. Apache Poker Chip sells some awesome ones, the bank style ones, Majestics, that have a lovely texture to them. They feel very broken in casino-esque. Unlike the next gen style chips, they have these beveled or rounded edges, which just feel like very good when you shuffle, and the texture really complements that. It's like they feel like a good chip. I mean, yeah, if you take one, like these are some old Milanos, if you take them in your fingers, sometimes you can break them like that and get dust all over your table. Let's see if this label, they do have labels, sticker labels on them. That didn't work. I need a sticker here. I need to pick up some of this. So yeah, they're not the most durable thing. They have VOC smell. But other than that, you know, it's like you have to kind of pick and choose what you want. And China clays, I think, have an interesting place in the market. If you don't know what they feel like, it might be worth ordering a sample set. I know some people who, like, especially if you know chips, you don't need to order every sample set out there, but if you want to know what they feel like, you can get some unicorn chips on Amazon. I am an Amazon associate. I make proceeds from qualifying purchases. I need to say that every time I talk about my Amazon shop. So these are, the unicorns are available in my Amazon shop, in the links in the description below. Same with the slow play plastic cards, which you're going to see me use later. So one of the criticisms of both of these is there's not a huge selection like there are of Metal Slug ABS chips. These are some Roman style chips from Discount Poker Shop. You can see my son has put a lot of wear and tear on these, on his floor, steps on them, Legos thrown around. They're pretty durable. Unicorn, these next gen style are some of my favorites. The Poker Store has these available. These Juego ones were available in Europe. Not sure if they still are. Let us know in the comments below. Milanos have been around for a long time. Not sure if they're still available, but you know, that's one of the original China clays. And Phoenix Card Room. So the sharp edges are lovely because you can stand them on end, the next gen style chips. And it doesn't really seem to affect how easily they shuffle. They still, you know, feel really good. So those are some options. I hope that helps. I mean, the clay is such a common additive, and they feel so different. Kind of a smoother plastic to kind of more of a chalky plastic is how I would describe them. Very different. If you know, let's try to break one of these. You know, I've never been able to break. I heard a crack. Come on, is that my wrist that was cracked? Yeah. Okay. So I can't break that. In fact, I have marks now on my fingers. All right, let's make a pot here. Let's just yeet that one. It's busted. This is our pot. This is what your pots look like at home in your home games. All right, we're going to play hands, some slow play chips or some slow play cards, plastic, PVC. They smell of PVC. Available in my Amazon shop. Once again, I am an Amazon associate. I make proceeds from qualifying purchases. So I'm just doing a weave style shuffle here. That's why I like plastic cards so much, is you can weave them or you can just shuffle them, whatever you want to do. So we're going to play another hand with our friend Jane Doe, who we love dearly. And she's the dealer now, so I'm the first one to receive a card. There's all this like poker chip entrails, detritus on the table here. So we've dealt. I might as well look at my cards because we're not playing for anything. They're just blind hands we're playing. It's not really Texas Hold'em. I have to remind myself of that. Cut card. And let's flop. Okay, so before I flop, have you dealt yourself 2 cards at home? Quick, grab your deck, shuffle up, deal yourself 2 cards, and let us know what you had in the comments below. Okay, when you're playing blind, it's anybody's game. Don't see a huge suited threat here. Of course, as soon as I say that, we have 2 diamonds and the river. It all comes down to this, Jane, you and me, mano y mano. Battle of wits right here, just a battle of attrition, and it comes down to the river, which is the 8 of diamonds. Paired the board. All right. Well, everybody will not be surprised that I have the 7. 6, 7, 8, 9. That means nothing. And I'm sure she doesn't have, you know, the 9. She wouldn't have the 9. Of course she wouldn't have the 9. Why would she have the 9? Why would she have the 9? Can we pretend I won that one? Let's pretend I had the flush, right? I don't know what we're pretending anymore. We need to move on. As a reminder, I like to focus on retail stock chips that you can just go buy. For the review purposes, that makes the most sense because that's what you're going to be able to see and just go purchase. However, ceramics are a wonderful option when you're talking about customizing chips. I got my promo chips made from BR Pro Poker. 2021, 2023, 2025, every 2 years. Like clockwork, you know, it's just wonderful, wonderful customization here. You can use these as golf ball markers, or you can make your own set. You can do whatever you want. Semi-customs, full customs, whatever you want. I send them my Adobe Illustrator file, and they just work wonderful customer service. So very happy with BR Pro Poker. But let's focus on retail chips. So we're going to talk about some here. Right now, I'm actually just going to put up a list of some vendors that sell some ceramics, and I'll put up my favorite designs. Pretty basic. Now, with the Amazon one, compliance, for disclosure, these slow play ceramics are on my Amazon shop. I am an Amazon associate. I make proceeds from qualifying purchases, but I purchased everything here with my own money. So let's start with the family favorite, Tiki Kings. Okay, I want to rotate this up, see if that will focus a little bit. These Tiki Kings are bright and happy. Everybody loves these chips. Tiki Kings, some of my favorite. I purchased these from BR Pro Poker. Just a great design, a great company. We need to move on. Slow play. So something that I tell people a lot is get samples. I know there's a push back to get samples. Like some people say, don't get samples, just spend the money on what you want. You need to decide what you want to do. But Amazon is a great place to get samples. Like people complain about the sound and feel of ceramics. If you go on Amazon, you just get some. Remember, they can be different from different places. Like BR Pro Poker kind of has a shinier blank, where other companies seem to have more of a matte blank, and that can kind of affect texture. So Sunfly, for example, has more of a shiny texture on the edges, but not on the face. BR Pro Poker, matte on the face, shiny on the edges. People usually call some of these Chinese manufactured one Tina's. They'll have the matte finish, okay? But they're lovely chips and they have a good texture to them. Here's some Pocket Aces. These are a very specific Pocket Aces non-denomination ceramic, and very lovely. Here's some molds. So the Sunfly chips, Apollo on chips, will have some molds, like two card mold right here. These Monaco 43mm chips, available through Apache Poker Chips, have this lovely crosshatch diamond mold right here. I mean, ceramics are absolutely lovely, but there are some complaints, okay? So the pros of these is they're very durable. My experience is they've been very durable. They have incredible graphics. Some of the cons are people don't like the sound. People feel like they're too slippery, stuff like that. Some people want the casino sound. So let's kind of compare. I don't know if my mic's going to pick this up very well. Let's see what we can do here with some ceramics. To me, these sound These two sound the same, but maybe the mic will pick something up. Real casino chip. Let me know what you hear. To me, it doesn't sound too bad. I've never felt like ceramics sounded terrible, but some people do. And some ceramics historically have had spinners where they have a high point, and so the whole stack will just spin. But my experience is they've been very flat. And like amazingly flat. Yeah, and just high quality. Ceramics are some of my favorites. Again, my understanding at the making of this video is they don't have any lead content in them. It's just a heavy polymer that's, you know, they just dye the color onto it. Pretty amazing. I love ceramics. They're not the cheapest thing on the planet. If you have a tight budget, you might want to consider something else. All right, we're not playing with this gold deck. Let's use the black deck now. I don't see any jokers in there. All right, black deck. Let's steal the cut card from that side. Put this here. We're going to square off with Jane Doe again. Let's just make a stack here. While I shuffle, if I haven't already, put a list up of all my favorite ceramics from different companies. Jane Doe is the dealer in this occasion. So we're going to shuffle these up and see how on earth I fare. Should I do a different shuffle here? Let's do this shuffle here. Chem cards are so lovely. They just feel so thin and so pliable. Cut card. All right, ready to rock and roll. Jane Doe is the dealer, so I get my card first, and she's going to look at her two loser cards right there, because clearly I'm going to dominate face, right? Is that how it works? All right, let's look up at the camera here, make sure that I'm in camera. We're going to flop. Turn. And what does the river hold? I'm pretty confident I won because I have, guess what? The jack. There's no way, unless she has a heart. She doesn't have a heart. Ha! She only has the 3 and the 4. 2, 3, 4, 5. She doesn't have it. I win. Ha! How do you like them apples? All right, I'm okay. Oh, there's one more thing I want to talk about. Ceramics are also great because you can get plaques. Look at this Tiki King's plaque. Are you kidding me? It's so awesome. Well, what do you want after your thousands? You want, you 5,000? It can be a plaque? Yes, sir. Let's do that. I do want to talk about premium chips. Paulson and Blue Chip Company. So Blue Chip Company was bought by Paulson. Now all of this is only available to casinos, new. You can buy it used. The company that still makes compression molded clay chips, premium variety, available to the consumer, is Classic Poker Chips. At the making of this video, they're in the middle of an ownership change, so hopefully they'll continue to be available to the public. You can see lovely Atlantic Club rounders, similar to the Rounders movie. Obviously, in the Rounders movie, they used the Roman mold. And so for, protect the authenticity of the original chips, there's a different mold here, which I appreciate, but still lovely replicas here. And these are some Roman molds, no longer available. I just have these kind of as a collectible. So you can get some used premium chips. You can buy some new ones at the making of this video. And that kind of represents what's available. Cons, obviously materials. My understanding is that the Paulson chips historically have had lead in them. I do not know which ones and how much. That's just a risk with Paulsons. With Classic Poker Chips, it's just the expense. If you are really finicky, maybe you don't like sharp corners, maybe you don't like the sound, maybe you don't like the colors, maybe you don't like the brass flakes that they put in here to weigh it down. But to me, there are no cons other than the price for Classic Poker Chips. Wait times maybe, because if you're going to make your customs, you have to wait for your mold to come around. At the making of this video, all of that is subject to change. Very premium, expensive, nice chips. Let's move these out of the way and let's play a hand. I might leave those a little bit in shot. I don't know if that will be in shot. We're playing another, oh, should we make a big pot? Let's put the blue, yeah, let's do just classic poker chips. Yeah, look at that pot. Ooh, that's juicy. All right, we're gonna use the black deck here. Let's turn this over. Because you can never get enough exposure for PokerChipForum. Such a fun site. Okay, so I'm dealer again, playing our friend Jane Doe. Let's make sure that these are sort of shuffled. I'm actually going to shuffle like this at the moment. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Let's call that good enough. Let's see what happens here. Okay, so we're going to deal like this. Let's have a look here. And I didn't see that second card. And I am the dealer. So grab your deck, shuffle it up. We're playing another hand. Deal yourself 2 cards. It's pretend hold'em because there's no, yeah, we know, we've been through this. We know the routine. Are we going to run out of room here? Let's hope not. Turn a 2, river, a 10 of hearts. Okay, this is looking bad for me. I only have some weak connected suit, you know, right here, we connected. And she has the 10 and the queen. Let me know your thought. How did the chips do? Let's talk about chips. Let's put these cards away. Let's pretend this never happened. Let's just put all these, rake all these in and just pretend that the law of averages is a real thing. So when it comes to chips, I want to conclude here and draw some conclusions. We do have a fun little, we're going to play a different game at the end. Just a fun little game just to dink around. But for the chips, what's more important in my opinion is your opinion. If you see something you like, if you handle something that you like, get it. I recommend getting samples. You can get on Amazon if you're not sure if you want some ceramics. These are not available on Amazon. These are pocket aces. But if you want to compare like ceramics versus like metal slug ABS chips, you can buy a little stack of 25, like slow play ceramics, for example. And you can just take them home and play with them and see what you think. See if you don't mind the ABS chips and you want to play those, or if the ceramics annoy you, or if you really love them. Samples for somebody who's brand new, I think has value. If you know the difference, then maybe you don't need samples, just buy what you like. And ultimately that's what it comes down to. Like if you ask me, what should I buy? Well, what do you like? I've shown you a bunch. Go to the websites and let us know in the comments below. Any advice is welcome in the comments below. I need to give a huge shout out to my patrons. Thank you so much for all of your support. Thank you to PokerChipForum. You can contact me on here. I'll put a little link to what my profile looks like so you can send me a private message if you want. I usually respond within a couple of days, depending on if I'm on vacation or not, or where I'm at and how busy I am. So visit us on PokerChipForum.com. Like I said, longtime patron, longtime supporter. And I love poker chips. So I'm looking forward to reading all of your comments in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Buckle up, we have one more segment. We're going to play some roulette. Not real roulette, YouTube roulette. This doesn't win, there's no winnings here. There's nothing at stake. It's just, you know, for fun. Kind of introductory to show you what you can expect at the casino. You're not going to see that here, but we're going to talk about it. Any chips with colors and no denominations will work. So like these pocket aces you've seen through ceramics, I mean, they're lovely. These will work. You just need colors to represent the player, and each one is worth exactly the same. And then you just place your bets, and the dealer knows which color is associated with you, and that's how it works to distinguish the players. The numbers on here distinguish the table. So these are both from table 3. This is the oddball at table 2, but we're just going to gloss over that for the sake of the video. And let's do some spins here. So I'm going to explain what they do in the casino, and I'm going to do something different because this thing, in a casino, you touch the roulette wheel, and it will spin for 15 minutes with how hard I touch that. This one, that wasn't even 15 seconds, I don't think. So I have some limitations here. And normally what you're going to see is as soon as this winning number hits this canoe, they'll pick it up and then they'll start the wheel in the opposite direction and then flick the ball in the opposite direction that the wheel goes. So if it was on 0 and it's moving this direction, they pick it up here when it hits this canoe, they spin it in the opposite direction, and then they flick it. But the wheel spins, okay? So that's a no spin, the wheel stopped. Whatever, we're going to break the rules here. Okay, so everybody think of a number. If you're with a friend, write it down on a piece of paper. Where are you putting things? I mean, they have different segments where you can choose like blocks of numbers. You can choose black and red. You can choose a specific number. I don't know, pick something. Let's spin 3 times. So I'm actually gonna spin the ball first and then spin the wheel, okay? Just because of the limitations of what I'm looking at here. I just don't want that to stop. I don't want to have to spin it in the middle of a play. Oh my gosh, we hit it. No, oh, please. All right, good. Red 9. All right, well, I have a good buddy in college who loves roulette because he can just get into the casino and out. So we're gonna pretend that he had his money on red. So he would leave it on red for 2 more spins. All right, let's see what happens, okay? Oh, I'm gonna spin first and then spin it. So let's give that a good crank because that was on the verge of stopping last time. Ooh, black 6. So we're gonna do one more here. Come around, all right. We're gonna do one more here. Let us know. So he'd put some more on red, you know? So let's see. I'm gonna spin this first. Yeah. And then spin this. Amateur hour here with the roulette wheel. And it's fun. Come on, red. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Yes, number 1. That was super close. My buddy's funny because he's like, it's 50-50, red and black. I'm like, what the 0? And I don't explain it to him. He still thinks it's 50-50. All right, so red 1. Let us know how you did in the comments below. I don't know if I showed this, but I did buy this week for $4.99. It's just a Goodwill purchase. That's all it is. I bought these marbles and this, oh, what do they call this thing? I bought these on Amazon. It'll be in my Amazon shop. Check the link in the description below. I am an Amazon associate. I make proceeds from qualifying purchases. One final real flick and let's see what happens. So on that note, I'm going to end here. Everybody, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.